Hi everyone, welcome to my program, My Life with Plants. My name's Newman, and today we're going to repot a coryphantha elephantidens. I picked it up for $14. It's got some yellowing on the one side of the base of the plant, which made me not want to buy it at first. But anyway, I decided to buy it after it's been in there for a few weeks at the store. I'm going to check it out. If it's got any damage, I can deal with it. So in the spray bottle, I've got hydrogen peroxide, about 2 tablespoons roughly. And this is to clean off any damaged or rotting or fungus or anything on the roots, so it does a really great job. I've used this before on a cactus, a gymnocalycium. It had a white fungus growing on the side of it, on the base, close to the roots, and I applied this 3 times, spraying it on, even when it was repotted, and it's come back to life and it's doing great. Also, I'm going to spray it on this gymnocalycium. I noticed it wasn't taking up water, so the last time I watered quite late in the season, and I think the mix is not too good, and I decided to pull it out to have a check. You can see that it's kind of orangey yellow. I don't see any signs of rot whatsoever. Gymnocalyciums are pretty hardy. You can overwater them in the winter, but if you come from my climate, it's generally lower humidity during the winter, a lot of sunshine, and very little rainfall. So these plants can actually take a little bit of water even in the winter time to stop the roots from desiccating completely, which is what you don't want. So this one's got really good root system there. Its little feeder roots have died off, but a lot of cacti do that during the winter because, you know, they're not taking up as much water. But in this case, this one's lost every feeder root, which is no good. Normally cacti will keep a certain amount of smaller roots in the pot to take up any available water during the winter season. And anyway, here it is. Nice big specimen. You can even see right in here that it's got some fruit. See that? It's got one right there, one right there, and they're pretty massive, you know, massive pink things with pretty big chunky seeds. See here the yellowing. That could be variegation, because this actually hasn't spread. This plant's been at the store for 3 weeks, and I've been watching this area. So it could be variegation. And if it isn't, I'm just going to have to cut it off. It's also down there. When I touch it, it doesn't feel spongy or anything. What do I want to repot it? Well, if you buy something in a store and you're not sure if the root system is doing alright, or if it is, who knows, we don't know that. It's better to take it out to inspect it just to make sure. You never know, there could be rot in there or something, and you just need to clean it up. In this case, it's entering winter. The days are still nice and warm here, quite cool at night. Probably won't do that much growing, but I'll put it into a dry mix and I'll wait a couple of weeks. I'll give it a little water, and I'll wrap up my tables to make a makeshift greenhouse, which is ideal during the winter, keeps them nice and warm. Anyway, we're going to get on with this. It's also got a top dressing, and these particular growers like to add a little cement to the top dressing, which is volcanic rock. aesthetics, you know. It doesn't pour out all over the place, but let's face it, I don't want concrete as a top dressing. We could probably grow perfectly fine with it being like concrete. It would just have a squashed epidermis. Even in habitat they grow between boulders, so the shape is always mishappen. As you can hear there, it's pretty tough. See that? It's not too deep, this concrete. Let's keep chipping away here. I hope this is not too boring for you. I thought I'd do a video. Actually wasn't going to do one because I'm pretty damn exhausted. I'm feeling a bit better today. Okay, see what happens. Well, there's a bit of movement. Up he comes. Okay. The yellowing is actually a lot further down. Now they sold this plant, you know, they took it out, potted it, sent it off to nurseries because it was a newly stocked plant. So they wouldn't try to send a plant that was in poor health. Why would they do that? It's actually I know that these nursery people in Japan, they raise seedlings, and then when they get to a manageable size, they plant them into the ground in the nursery. And you can see here, because it's just ordinary loamy soil. There is no signs of rot or anything. I'm just touching this yellow area here. See what that's all about. It's got a pretty chunky root there. It's a nice specimen. Are they normally supposed to yellow like this at the base? Is it normal? Bring the camera closer so you can have a look. Is it normal that we get quite yellow at the bottom here? Probably, because just a lack of, it's probably been planted right up to this point here on this tubercle, so naturally that was kind of underground, so that accounts for the color. There's nothing to worry about. It's just that it's been part of the plant that's been submerged. Root system is good, no problems. This thing is dry as a bone, so it's been sent to the nursery to sell. Nursery people don't water them at all, which is probably a good thing, because you know, this was indoors, so you're not looking at any sunlight at all. Should be a bad idea watering it. You see the roots have been severed off there because it's been growing in the ground. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to spray with hydrogen peroxide, because hydrogen peroxide does a few things. It will kill bacteria and fungus that would otherwise start to rot any damaged or even roots that have been damaged before. And the next thing is that it actually stimulates growth in the plant. And after you've sprayed it on, you don't need to clean it off. It dissipates. So here you have it. I'm going to give that a good spray now. I might cut the roots a little bit, because that's how you stimulate new growth in the roots. So anyway, got to get back. I actually don't have my trimmers, so maybe a minute. Here we are back. Give these roots a bit of a trim. Sorry about the angle, but here I am working on my own, and I don't do any editing at all. What you see is what I've actually recorded. I'm not trying to do this. I'm just trying to make these videos to be helpful and to share my passion for cacti, also indoor plants. Got to do an update on my phalaenopsis to let everyone know how they've been going, because I've learned a few new things. Also, I got an upcoming video about when and how and at what time is the best time to water xerophytic plants, cacti and succulents. I want to cover some good points, trying to make it straightforward, and I do take into account where people live and what kind of climate they're in, because, you know, I'm a New Zealander living in Japan, so I was in a totally different climate, and there we used to have big tree aloes and aloe polyphylla, plicatillus. You could grow aloes just so easily because the climate was like South Africa. See, it had a very mild, rainy, humid winter. Temperatures didn't get too cold, and the summers are very dry. See, so over here it's totally different. It's like the opposite. With these very humid, hot summers, and during the winter time it's very bone dry. And here I am getting into the cacti world much more than ever. Nice pot there. Let's have a look at the substrate that I've used. So here it is. This is the volcanic rock that has this little bit of cement in it. And over here it's like perlite mixed in with a basic light fluffy kind of potting mix. Not very, it doesn't have much. Looks like husks of some sort. It's almost like sawdust with perlite. The actual funny thing is that this stuff looks pretty terrible. But I had a gymnocalycium saglionis growing in it. It had a magnificent root system growing in that stuff. It's almost the kind of stuff I'd plant Hoyas and orchids in. It kind of does work. But I'll be changing the mix to something else that's doesn't have these rice husks or whatever you call it. It's going to be a very pumicey, free draining mix with akadama in there. They like to grow in the akadama too. Here we go. Time to give them the hydrogen peroxide shower. And just better sweep up a little bit. Got to keep it tidy. Keep it tidy. Who else keeps their growing space tidy? Sweep up here. How's the weather at your end? We've had temperatures about 20, 25 and goes down to 10 or 8 to 10 degrees during the night. I'll tell you what, cacti like it. They like those temperatures. Not much growing going on, but they do, believe it or not, appreciate some water, but not too much. It's kind of like a spritz. Definitely want to let the cacti grow out to dry out somewhat. I've probably gone down to a watering schedule of every 3 to 4 weeks now, because the soil is just not drying up as much. But I definitely don't let it go bone dry. And if you come from an environment where it's very cloudy and dark and cold and wet and humid, of course, no water at all. Here I have to do it. It's just, it gets too dry during the winter. They shrivel away too much, and that can actually, they can die from it. It's like too dry. You know what I mean? Okay, here we go. This one's getting its second bath of hydrogen peroxide, and this one's getting its first. It does wonders. You're getting it on your fingers, it's perfectly safe. I get a lot of stuff on my fingers. It's no wonder nobody bought this cactus, isn't it? I mean, look at the size of it. It's amazing. If something doesn't have flowers on it, and people don't know what it is, they just leave it. They never buy it. Same with stapelias and ceropegias and those kind of unusual plants. Customers come in and they just see something that just looks almost half dead, or is it alive? They kind of wonder. And without the flowers on it, they have no idea what they're looking at. I'm going to undo this and pour some on. Give it a good soak. I'm hoping that the fruits that it has come out. They're kind of storing the epidermis there. The growing apex. The fruits are still submerged in there. They got to work their way out, which is what they do when they're ripe. I haven't perfectly cleaned this. See that? Still got some soil in there. Oh, hope it didn't break that. There you go. Even though it's still got some soil stuck in there, the hydrogen peroxide would just kill anything that's just bad or harmful. There's no need to get it perfectly clean. That's what the hydrogen peroxide's doing. Okay, this one had its second. Let me show you a plant that did a total recovery from using that. Here it is here. This gymnocalycium saglionis. This thing was going down the tubes quick. So it had a fungal attack on the base of it. After using hydrogen peroxide, it took off, started growing, no problem. Back to health. It was half that size, and within a month it's doubled its size. It's too big for the pot now. The stuff really works. It's good stuff. You can even tip it into the soil if you've got something that just doesn't look very healthy. You can actually just make it up, like I have. This spray bottle's got 2 tablespoons of hydrogen peroxide. You can just tip that straight into the potting soil and all over the cactus. It would be good for cacti that are gotten too much humidity, and maybe they got sooty mold growing on them, or something like that. You can clean it off. Anyway, that's about it for today, and I hope you enjoy watching, and please stay tuned. Hit the subscribe. If you do that, then it'll remind you of the next videos coming up. So the next one will be about watering and climate. So I'm going to cover those things, and I hope you find that interesting and helpful too. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good day with your plants, and see you next time. Bye.